Hello everyone. Been a long time. As you can probably guess from me not making a video after so long, I want something from you. As you can guess from my past videos, if you've seen any of them, I want you to vote. You probably know generally what I want you to vote for or against. But I'd like to just give you one reason to work from that I don't think is being talked about in a way I would like. But that's most of the world. In any case, the thing is reciprocity. Not the eye for an eye of negative reciprocity, but the generally assuming that your neighbor is not a despicable being worthy of death, and or that they are not automatically out to kill you in return for generally them assuming the same thing. The emotional faith, if you will, because it's only proven by the fact that we don't have the purge going on 24/7, and we're still shocked when it's breached, depending upon our life experiences. To get right down to it, positive reciprocity is what makes a stranger basically makes it possible to accept a gesture of kindness or a compliment from a stranger, assuming I'm setting aside really, really creepy, scary, and bad things, people leering at you, people catcalling or throwing sarcastic comments at you, obviously sarcastic comments. I'm talking about that thing some people call just manners, or being civil, or even empathy, more broadly. Those are all not necessarily the same things, but I believe they're linked. And the underlying thing is what I'm trying to get at here. Now, having introduced the topic for far too long a time, I'd like to, trying not to swear here, and those of you who have watched my channel before know what a struggle this is when I'm really pissed. But the calls for civility that have been coming up, usually directed at the left, absolutely infuriate me. And the reason is that civility is not something the right has been offering to anyone to the left of, I want to say John McCain, but even he was not getting civility for a very long time. Laying it all out here, being as honest as I possibly can. Link number 1 in the description is the GOPAC memo written by Newt Gingrich, Language, a Key Mechanism of Control. Basically lays out a bunch of terms that you should call democratic propositions and democratic politicians, and what you should call Republican ideas and Republican politicians. And the two lists could not be more distinct. I suggest you look at the two of them, read the memo, Tell me whether or not you think there's any reciprocity or conduct of fairness and civility there. And look at the way Newt Gingrich speaks about anyone on the center or the left, even today. He hasn't changed one bit, and his party hasn't either. The second thing I'd like to lay out, and really it's the main one. Everybody talks about Obamacare. I don't. I talk about the PPACA or Pelosi Care, because she did the yeoman's work. No, yeoman's work undermines it. She did the lion's share of the work in getting it passed. And she has fought quite a rearguard action to try and defend it. But I don't want to talk about too much about how it was passed, because I will start swearing if I start listing off the amendments that Republicans presented to the bill that were accepted, debated, got out of committee, were debated on the floor, voted upon, and then at the final vote, not one Republican voted for it in the Senate. That wasn't reciprocity. That wasn't civility. What I want to go after is something much more visceral. I want to go after a picture of this man here. Take a good look at that man. Look at his face. That man is Jason Chaffetz, recently of Utah's 3rd Congressional District, I believe. He's now a contributor at Fox News, and I think he has a guest spot at Harvard's Kennedy School of Policy or something like that. I don't know. He's fat and happy as far as money goes. You may not remember that photo. That photo was taken, I believe, in March. Not certain. There's a link. The second link talks about it. But he is just coming back from foot surgery. He was going in to get... a week before this picture was taken, he went back to Utah to get some hardware, steel plates and screws holding together a previously broken set of bones, taken out. And he was going to be gone for 3 or 4 weeks. But then Paul Ryan's like, we're going to repeal Obamacare, and now Trump's in the White House, so it might actually happen. Never mind that they had tried somewhere in between 40 and 54 times to repeal Obamacare before, and he was a reliable soldier on those votes. But this time was for real. Look at the glee on his face. He's going to go shut down health care for 32 million Americans, up to 32 million Americans, right after his government-funded health care plan has given him the finest coverage you can get in the country. And he's wheeling in early from sick leave to do it. And his wife is with him, all smiling and happy, and he's all smiling and happy. Is that reciprocity? Is that fairness? Keep in mind that every single other member of the House and most of the Senate is signed up along with this bullshit too. Link 3 is a listing of the number of votes, or at least in the House, for the repealing of Obamacare. I think you'll find that entertaining in a dark and sick way. And it's not over. If the Republicans keep the House, Mitch McConnell's first priority, well, maybe second, besides another tax cut for the makers, as in those who make a shitload of money. is to repeal Obamacare. Is that fair? Is that really fair that they are spending all this time trying to dismantle a social protection that, if they have the chance, they will make sure Social Security and Medicare fall or are privatized, which will mean the same thing, right after it? Is that fair? Is that reciprocity? Are they treating those who can't give them any money like human beings? No. So, if you think that a party that is flawed, that is mixed, that is truly a scrum of different ideas and competing voices and people who have problems, but who generally are trying to make everyone's life suck a little less, then get out there and vote for the Democrats. Every single one you can for the next 20 years. Because the current Republican Party doesn't give a goddamn about you. They think either God or the market will provide. They don't need to be concerned. Or charities. They're really big on charities. Doesn't matter if they cover everyone, just if they cover enough for good photo ops for Congress critters and politicians to stand with. There are many other things I could talk about involving positive reciprocity and the GOP not extending it. But this video is over 10 minutes long already, and you've probably heard enough. All I know is that even Melania Trump, when she was wearing that I don't really care, do you jacket, which I don't really care who she was directing it at, whether it be the media or some segment of the populace or even Donald Trump himself, it doesn't make any difference to me. All I know is that a former supermodel married to an alleged billionaire who is President of the United States does not wear a $60 jacket without a very specific reason. It just doesn't happen. But even she has not demonstrated that she does not care as clearly as the GOP has. Do you really want people who have power over you, who do not demonstrate any caring for you at all? Thank you for your time and attention, and may the odds be ever in your favor.